Well, it's 5-minute quickie time, and this one is all about my thoughts about how to get the most out of planning your day, making sure you get success at the end of the day, and if you didn't, how you can make sure that success comes the following day. All this by watching my beloved football team. Have a listen.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, we're back again on a 5-minute quickie. And this happened to me on a Sunday. See, Sunday afternoon, I like to watch a little bit of football on telly. And I was watching my beloved Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur. And I do that, and I also have a little book with me just to do a little bit of mind mapping of thoughts that come along. And the game wasn't that brilliant, to be honest, so I just got to thinking about daily planning. How do you plan your day? And I thought to myself, well, I know things, for me anyway, don't always work out the way I want them to. And I don't always do what I know I should do, and we should all over ourselves. And I thought, well, why don't I go through this with myself? And then it came to me thinking, oh, why don't I go through it with you too? And the meta part of this was leaving nothing to chance. Because I think sometimes when I wake up in the mornings, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I've got appointments, okay, they're in my calendar, I get them done. But it's this time and the stuff either side of those appointments. So I thought to myself, well, what is the best way? Best way to plan our day. And I thought, well, a long time ago, I used to use a thing called OPA, developed by Tony Robbins. And it was outcome, purpose, and action, which is really good because you think of the outcome you want, which is what we always should start with. The purpose, how important it is to you, and what will it get you? Well, I've adapted that, I think, to what will this allow me to do? What will it get me? What makes the most difference to me? And then the action. Now, what tends to happen is you make a big long list what's going to happen over the week and you go, I'll pick something out that and I'll just do something. And that's not working for the day. So I thought to myself, how could I just change that? Because I do like the Tony Robbins OPA method. But for me, and that was great when I was doing stuff, but it got repetitive sometimes. And now my world isn't quite as repetitive, which is awesome. But I need to think about it. So always, instead of you've got outcome, but also you need to set your intention at the start of a day, don't you? What is your intention for the day? Then you've obviously got the mini intentions for the actual bits you're going to be doing during the day. So I used to like to set my intention. Then I thought, well, we still need to know an outcome, what we want to have. So I'm not just going to do this. I want this to happen because that'll tell you a lot more of what you need to do, not just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. You've got an outcome. And then I used to ask myself, well, what will that get me? What will that get me, this outcome? And sometimes you would go through the list and you'd say, well, actually, this won't get me anything. It's just something that I think I ought to be doing, or other people as well, they're doing it too. Well, that's not good enough, is it? So what I tended to do then was go to that principle of choosing, say, the top three of making the most difference. Because if you think about it, if you could just do one thing that make the most difference, isn't that obvious that's the one we're supposed to do? Maybe not the most easiest one, may have a little bit of difficulty to start off with, but if you look at your outcome and what it's going to get you, then you can decide your action and think of the feeling of when you've got that success. And then you can write it down. So you write down the outcome in mind and what you're going to do. And then in this, the Cal Newport way, you can block that time out in your diary. And you really do. You have to block that time out because you're going to put down what you think you can do. And if it's only the top 1, 2, or 3 things in that day, that should be pretty simple to do. It's the confusion when we get so many items on a to-do list, bullet points, all that stuff. It's too much. So we concentrate on those 3 things. We also look at other things around there that, who can help me? Maybe I can leverage a little bit out to other people to do. Or it's just me. Who do I know that could help me get to that result better and quicker? Have I done this before? What resources do I need? What type of state do I need for each one? And then block it in your diary. That's it. Now I thought to myself, well, it's now pretty simple, Paul. You've sieved through all the things that are in your to-do list down to 2, maybe 3 things to do in the day. Yeah, you'll probably have some time either side of those things. So you can, fill in with a few others using the same principle. What is the next one thing that would make the most difference? And some of those things might be your health, your fitness, maybe taking time out, pausing, stopping. Put that down, block it in. And then I thought, well, you need to be able to review, don't you? Review how you've done in the day. And the thing about reviewing, you go, oh, that was good. That was good. No, that's a bit BS. You really need to be really honest with yourself. I mean, I like to review the things I've done well just before I go to sleep. And that's a little bit like an act of gratitude, I guess. But to just review. Now, I was thinking, when is the best time to review? Because a review is going to be what worked and what didn't. Why did that work? How did that work? And what could I learn from both what worked and what didn't work and implement in the future? And what didn't I get done? What stopped me doing it? Maybe it wasn't that important. Or maybe you just didn't allow enough time and I have to learn to block out the right amount of time. And I thought to myself, well, you could do this in the mornings before you start. But I thought, mornings only. I don't think I like to get on with stuff in the morning. So if you're going to review something, it doesn't really work for me in the morning. You might want to plan a little bit just to work out what you're going to do in the day. But again, I think you're missing something. So like the evening before, the night before, because you can quickly review the day, review the week. Say you have to mitigate a few things. Maybe you have to move things along because that one thing that's so important is the thing to do tomorrow as well. And make sure when you review, what would make it work even better? What didn't work today? How can I learn from that? And then you can plan. And then in the morning, all you have to do is very quickly review your purpose, review your outcome in mind. So you've got it's then getting, I guess, when you visualize it, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And then looking at your calendar, that time blocked out, and then just smash it. And when you smash it, you can then, at the end of that day, just for 5 or 10 minutes, review what went on. Maybe what happens is, as you're making all that wonderful progress on the stuff that you've done and the thing that makes the most difference, you suddenly realize something else comes along. Because when you're reviewing, you go, well, I know I could be doing this next, but it makes so much more sense now to support what I've just done with this. And that's going to make even more difference. Maybe that one phone call that I had a little bit of intuition while I was doing that work. Things like that. So that was it really. Just a little review. I'll start that again. A little review of my thoughts on daily planning. I think when you get it that way, you will become certainly less overwhelmed, and you'll certainly start to see the results of your labor, the results of your effort, the return on your investment of time and energy, because you'll be putting your energy into the right things, the things that will make the most difference. They might not be the most beautiful, but when they make the most difference, your world becomes beautiful. Success becomes beautiful. And you get to feel bloody good. Anyway, that was it. Just a little thing on daily planning. If you do it like that, awesome. If you do it differently, maybe try this or evolve this very simple way of doing it into what you're doing. Or if you do it completely different, do let me know, because there are so many different ways we can evolve and make success. For one person, it really works. And maybe for one person, it doesn't quite work, but one little, well, just twitch. It's not a twitch, is it? But we just change it slightly and things just go. But always write these things down. mind map them. I love mind mapping. The notes on my daily planning were all mind mapped. Got little pictures, got a clock, got Zs, got blocking out, got a calendar, got a pen. And when I look at them, I go, yeah, I know exactly what to do. So sometimes I might just even look at this to remind me, leaving nothing to chance. Because we don't want chance to play a hand, do we? We want to have our hand on that chance and make the best of our time. So worth it. Anyway, I hope that made sense. If you love it, you love it. And if it didn't, well, I'm sure there's something there that will make you think. And if that's all you do is muse to go, well, how can I improve what I do? My job is done. And if I've given you stuff that can make your daily planning and your rituals that little bit better, my job is done. Until next time, my friend, stay here just for a moment. Again, I'll probably just be telling you about a past episode, a past FMQ, something you can just go back through the back catalogue and have a listen to. And then just a little bit of, good housekeeping. Okay, so stay with me. I know your time's valuable, but once you get it, you get it. Okay, I'll see you and speak to you later. Bye-bye, my friend. So just before we get into that housekeeping, I wanted to remind you of, going back to way back in May 2019, FMQ 245. And it's all about being a superhero, but not just being a superhero, it's being a superhero whenever you want. Now, what does it all mean? Well, listen to the intro and maybe have a scoot back to that particular podcast. It's the FMQ 245. It's only a few minutes long, but what a way to spend a few minutes. This is your big heads up to the shorter podcast, the 5-minute quickie, as we call it. And it's all about, being able to change your behaviors, change the way you feel, change the way that you make pictures in your mind in an instant. And it is more fun than you can stand. And you have to stand, and it will be more fun than you can stand. Interested? Have a listen. Yep, and that was the intro to FMQ 245. Be a superhero whenever you want. And now to that housekeeping. Okay, because if you got a golden nugget out of this, if you got something of interest, and I hope you did, because I try to get, golden nuggets spread everywhere in every episode. Doesn't match everyone, but I hope I'm going to get some to everyone. And if you do, could you do two things? One is share the golden nuggets, share the podcast with everyone you know. And if you would, maybe give me some feedback. Email me at personaldevelopmentunplugged.com and just tell me what you learned. Tell me how you're going to use it. Maybe give me some feedback on where you'd like to go with various episodes of the podcast so I can help you with either things that you're suffering with. Maybe they're health issues, maybe they're just your general mental health. Maybe there's some syndromes. We all love a syndrome, don't we? Maybe there's a syndrome you'd like to get rid of. Maybe there's just some fears, some anxiety, anything like that. Maybe it's just a phobia. I don't know. Easy stuff to get rid of. So just email me those. If you have anything like that, just do email me. I'll repeat it again. It's feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Also, have you subscribed? Why not? When you subscribe, you will get a little notification. It will come onto your little playing device twice a week. FMQs and a full length episode on a Saturday. Have that. Also, if you get just a moment or two, if you put up a review, that would be awesome. That's what we like to do. If we put up reviews, it just helps the popularity of this podcast and gets it out to more people, because the more people will get it to, the more people will change. And the more people will change, the more this world will change. And that's what we want. And that's what we want for everybody and everyone. And especially, I want that for you. So that's it. That's the little bit of housekeeping I just wanted to share with you. So now you can leave this unplugged mind of mine. Oh, before you go though, before you do leave, do have a look at paulcloughonline.com. It's got all my programs, Hopefully the discount is still there. It's a massive discount of around 75%. All you have to do is put in the code LOCKDOWN, LOCKDOWN, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and none of the programs take longer than about 10 or 12 days. At the most, some are instant. So what have you got to lose other than unconfidence, other than fears, anxiety? What have you got to gain? Everything. That was my little plug for paulcloughonline.com. Just have a look. Love your feedback on it. See you soon. Now you can leave this unplugged mind of mine.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.